Hello and welcome to today's Gabby video. I'm Alicia, your virtual Gabby coach. You may have noticed that Gabby recently introduced some new training drills into our system called UG-based conversion questions or universal grammar-based conversion questions. In today's short video, we'll be learning about these UG-based conversion questions, what their purpose is, and how they're different from Gabby's previous conversion questions. Let's get started. First off, we have now separated Gabby's 3 types of training drills into 2 different categories: response training and sentence generation training. Response training includes yes/no questions, which should be familiar to you since this is where you began your Gabby training. Sentence generation training includes open questions as well as the new UG-based conversion questions. Now, before we go any further, if you are asking yourself, what is universal grammar or UG? Please go back and watch our other video, Universal Grammar, the Basics, and then come back to this one. Gabby's sentence generation training is there to help train your brain to create natural-sounding English sentences and to give comprehensive answers to questions by selecting specific information. Now, to understand the difference between Gabby's previous conversion questions and the new UG-based conversion questions, let's look at some examples, starting with a previous conversion question. Statement number 1, she lives downtown. Cue number 1, past tense. Answer number 1, she lived downtown. Statement number 2, she lives downtown. Cue number 2, change she to they. Answer number 2, they live downtown. Statement number 3, she lives downtown. Cue number 3, negative. Answer number 3, she doesn't live downtown. The conversion question starts with an original statement. In this case, she lives downtown, and each cue asks you to go back to that original statement. Now, let's take a look at an example of a new UG-based conversion question. Statement number 1, he's making investments. Cue number 1, use they. Answer number 1, they're making investments. Statement number 2, they're making investments. Cue number 2, add smart. Answer number 2, they're making smart investments. Statement number 3, they're making smart investments. Cue number 3, form a question. Answer number 3, are they making smart investments? Did you notice the difference between these 2 types of conversion questions? That's right. These new UG-based conversion questions do not go back to the original statement each time. Instead, each new statement is based on the correct answer from the previous cue. Another difference you may notice is that the new UG-based conversion questions include 10 difficulty levels, instead of the 5 difficulty levels included with the previous conversion questions. For levels 1 to 8, your first cue will always be use, which asks you to replace another word in the sentence. For your second and third cues, they will always be a combination of add, which asks you to add an additional word to the sentence, form a question, or change to negative. For levels 9 and 10, you will see a slight modification to the order of the cues as well as to the form a question type. These new UG-based conversion questions use universal grammar principles to help you understand and create natural-sounding sentences without directly teaching you English grammar. Now, this may all seem quite new to you, and that's normal. It may take some time to get used to these changes, but we are confident that these new drills will add so much value to your English training. These UG-based conversion questions were created using research from MIT and and the University of Tokyo, and we are very excited to have you be a part of this new training method. Please feel free to come back and watch this video as many times as you need. And remember that your personal Gabby coach is always there to help you. When you're doing your self-training, remember that faster is better than perfect. See you next time.